Hey everyone, welcome to the House of Five. We are going to do another budget with me since we're almost to the end of July and August is coming up really quick. Can you believe it? These budgets with me are designed to show you how we do our monthly budget. If you have followed our journey, you know that budgeting and cutting our expenses has been a big part of our financial independence journey and how we've been able to get rid of $650,000 worth of debt in 3.5 years, as well as buy our first 4 investment properties. Stay tuned for about 6 seconds and we'll be right back. Hey everyone, well welcome back to the House of Five. I am Wendy. I am one half of our House of Five channel as well as our podcast and blog. Not present is my husband Curtis. He's out running errands and he really doesn't like the numbers anyway, so he'll be back in our next video. We're going to just jump right into the numbers today so you can see how we work our budget. Hopefully you find this helpful. Hopefully you can see how we work our budget. And then if you also would like to have either a paper copy of one of our budget sheets or the Google template for you to do for yourself, I'll link that down below. You can get those in our Etsy shop. Well, then let's dive in. I'm going to share my screen. All right, here we go. So if you haven't done a budget with me before, let me kind of just explain what we have going on here. I black out the exact amount of, I can't see that, so here go the glasses. As you can see, I black out the budget, but I do provide you with the totals. In our monthly budget, we get Curtis's W-2 income as well as my income. And then we also get an adoption subsidy for the boys. If you know our story, you know 4 of our children we adopted out of foster care. 3 of them are sibling group and considered high risk. And then 2 of them are special needs. So that extra money helps us to provide for them, and it's not a lot, but it certainly helps us, helps me be able to stay home with them and be there for them in the way that I wasn't able to be there for our oldest children. So that's included, and then we also have some smaller amounts coming in every single month, and that is from our adult children who it is their responsibility to pay for their portion of the auto insurance for their vehicles, as well as their portion of the cell phone bills. We're probably going to add in some additional costs for them soon, but we'll work towards that in the future. Over on the right-hand side here, I keep upcoming large expenses that are coming. As you can see, we've got in November, we've got our property taxes on our properties, as well as our solar overages, and we'll get the bill for that soon, and it'll be due in September. I know approximately what that is right now because the power company gives me a tally, but it probably will increase by about $50, and that's what will be due in September. We also, the previous owner on one of our rental properties discovered some repairs as he was it's complicated. After we bought our properties from the owner who was also happened to be the property manager. So in the process of getting one of the units ready for a new tenant, he discovered repairs that were pre-existing, and he was a decent person and gentleman and did those repairs for us, and we offered to pay a portion of that. So this $2,000 there is to reimburse him for some of that repair. It was a big repair, something completely unexpected, and that didn't show up on the inspection. So anyways, moving along, we'll go to our monthly expenses. Our biggest one is our rent, which is $34.08. That is living in San Diego, folks. That's what it costs to live here. But it's definitely less expensive than our mortgage was. We sold our house last year, to pay off a good chunk of our debt as well as get rid of that mortgage. You can find out more about that in our net worth updates, which I'll link up above and down below. Also, we have our water and our sewer. I know what these are because we've gotten the bill, and so once I get the bill and know what it's going to be, I plug it in here. Our water and sewer, as well as our cell phones, we get a portion of that. Those are our only phones, and it is quite high, but we rely on our phones, and I've tried other companies other than Verizon, and our experience just has not been well. So we stick with the Verizon, and our kids reimburse us for a nice little chunk of that, so that's nice. We also have internet. That's at $59. All right, so the next category, we have our transportation costs, which includes our fuel for the month. We're not having very much fuel expense right now since we're not going anywhere except really the store. We did have a nice little reduction in our car insurance this month. Last month it was $360 something, but I decided to take off the comprehensive, I think, or is it the collision? It's the one that reimburses you for the value of a car. I took that off of my husband's car because his car is not worth very much and we don't drive it very much anymore. I also took off the roadside assistance as well as the car rental for that. It just really isn't worth very much, and we were paying such a, almost $100 more for all of that combined. And to me, it just really wasn't worth it anymore. I'd rather have that money back into our monthly budget. I put all of my business expenses on my Capital One card. We get a little bit of cash back on that, so that's a nice little reduction in some of those. And it also just helps me keep track of those expenses more easily since it's all just coming from one card. Comes out automatically. I put the amount in on that card every single month, and then it comes out. So we're not paying an interest on that. We're not paying for student loans right now. Those are currently, because of the pandemic, those are all on at zero. We're getting credit for those, which is nice. And the interest rate right now on those is 0, I believe. So it's kind of a nice little breather for us to stockpile cash, which is really, really important, I think, right now, as opposed to paying down debt. The other thing we have is our IRS bill for old tax debts that I acquired a long, long time ago when I first started my law practice. I talk more about that in our net worth updates. We've gotten that down now to about $20,000, and while the pandemic has been going on, we haven't been paying that, and I'm also going to request that we lower that amount for now down to $330. So that will be budgeted for this month so that we can get that going soon. All right, then the next set is our expenses. I lump all these together because these are more discretionary type funds where it's not a fixed amount, it's more of a fluctuating amount. And so if I need to change these dollar amounts, I can. Really the only one that's not is our life insurance. But everything else, we have a dollar amount that we put in, but we could spend a little less, we could spend a little more. We try to stay on budget. So our groceries, I put at $800 with 7 people in the house, and 6 of them have a Y chromosome. We go through a lot of groceries. So we do the biggest haul at the beginning of the month, which is $400, and then we supplement that throughout the month with $200 a couple weeks apart from there. Our dining out, which is mostly our Pizza Fridays, I put at $80. About 25 of that is for our son's Pizza Friday, and the rest is for any other meals out that maybe Curtis and I want other than pizza. Our entertainment is our Netflix and Hulu that a family member splits with us, and we get reimbursed half of that for. And then our dog food, I do order special food for my dog who has some pretty significant food allergies. He's an albino, so he gets itchy skin really, really easy, and ear infections really easy if he's fed anything that he doesn't do well with, like chicken or grain. So we buy that from Chewy. Curtis and I both get personal spending of $75. We're not really using that right now, but I'm going to keep that just in case, like I want to buy a book or something like that. Okay, then the rest of the expenses we have, life insurance is $176.68, and then our medical, actually, let's increase that a little bit. I have to reorder my medicine. The kids do get an allowance of $120 altogether. I give 3 of the boys $20, and then my almost 10-year-old, he gets $40 because he steps up to the plate all the time and does extra chores. He's really good that way, so I do reward him for that. Half the time I don't even have to ask him, which is amazing. And then I give 20% of our income from the kids' subsidy as well as my income. So $600 on this week and $120 on this one. I don't do it for Kurt's because all of our retirement money comes out of Kurt's check pre-tax, which is at about 30%. So I don't do any additional savings out of his check. And then as you can see here, we've paid all of our bills. We've accounted for all of our expenses for this month. And we've got some left over down here. The over under after we've taken all of our income minus all of our expenses for that paycheck. And we do have some extra money here. So what I do is I put that in my Capital One 360 account, which is just, we'll put 288 for that one. Let's see if I do 1146 here. Nope, I gotta put, let's see, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put whatever the total is for the next one, which is 1002. We'll put that there. All right, that's good. Here, let's put I hate having extra. I like to get it as close to 0 as possible in each call. That doesn't work either. Okay, well, we know that we're going to have to save $144 on that week to carry over to this week. And then all right, so we know that 144 of this is going to be needed. Why don't we do that? Let's do this. Let's try that. That would be 100 there, right? 100. And then let's do 50 there. Let's take that out there. Change that. 1002, 1002. Okay, that still puts that at 35. Do you have any other expenses going on that we could do? 120 here and 40 here. There we go. I'm really bad at leaving money in the checking account and carrying it over to another payday. So I would much rather, oh no, it has to be here. I would much rather, let's see if that worked. There we go. It's not 0, but it's close enough. I would much rather put it in the budget, and then I'll put it in a different savings account. But if it helps you to carry it over, go right ahead. It just, for me, I have to see these almost zeros at the bottom, or I don't do well. This is what works for me, is getting as close to 0 at the bottom. And I know that I can put, $120 into my savings account that's connected to my checking. When it comes time for Pizza Friday, I can just take that out, and there's money still in there for the next week. But as far as the budget goes, on paper, I like to see that at a 0. That just helps me. And then here we've got $92 left over from that pay period, which we're going to put right here, and we'll put that into savings. And then, so for the most part, we're pretty much at 0 for every single payday. We get to put an extra $16, $17, $18, $19, $2,000, $2,100 or so into our savings account. this month, which is really, really great. And like I said, I think it's really, really important right now during this pandemic because there are so many uncertainties to stockpile as much cash as you can. We're fairly certain Curtis's teaching job is secure at least for this next 12 months, this next contract, but that could change at any time given just the severity of what's happening and how long this pandemic has already lasted so far, and that the numbers are just not going down. So just I would encourage you, if you can, to stockpile as much cash as you can as well, because we just don't know what's going to go on. And then, at a later date, if it's not needed, you can use that to pay down some debt. For us, it's also serving as possibly purchasing an additional rental property very, very soon, which we hope to be able to update you on that next video. So I do hope that you'll come back next week. We're going to be analyzing potential rental properties, investment properties to add to our portfolio. We're going to walk through how we analyze them to see how profitable that they're going to be, whether or not they are a good investment or not. And we'll let you know what we have decided at the end of that video and keep you posted. So come back next week. If you haven't subscribed and you like what we're doing, please subscribe and ring that bell, and we will see you next week. Bye, everybody.